Okay, in this module, we'll talk about the difference between future value and present value. So in finance, a fundamental concept is the time value of money. So I think it's quite intuitive to understand or to see that the purchasing power of your money will deteriorate along with the time. And that's mostly due to inflation. Say you have $100 today, maybe that's enough for you to buy 20 bottles of milk at a supermarket. But because of inflation, the price of product tends to go up. So if you wait until 1 year later and you send $100, that may only be enough to purchase 19 to 18 bottles of milk. So you see here, it's the same $100, but its purchasing power deteriorates along with time. So when we calculate the investment returns, and we need to factor in the time value. So we need to converge between the present value and the future value of money and back and forth very often in finance. So in this slide, if we were to invest P for N periods at a periodic interest rate of R%, then the future value of the investment can be calculated using this way. The P is your initial capital, R is the return of the investment per year, and then N is number of periods. So we used the previously introduced compound interest calculation, and you will be able to convert from this is present value to future value. Or alternatively, you can convert back from future value to present value by dividing the future value with 1 plus R to the power of N. Right? So then we'll be able to convert between future value and present value of your capital. And this is easily done in Excel. So here in this case, we have example, and let's just consider a vector of cash, so which means that you receive a different amount of cash flow at different period. And we assume the interest rate is 8% per year, compounded annually. So there's only one conversion period in each measurement period. Objective is to compute the present value and future value of the entire series. So what I suggest is that you just start an Excel spreadsheet and just copy the following number, right? 2,500, 500, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, and 20,000 into your one column of your spreadsheet. Then to do the calculation manually. After that, you can compete your results with my calculation here on these slides. So in year one, this is end of the first year, end of year one, the cash flow you receive is $2,500. To convert it into the beginning of year one, the calculation is very simple. You just need to use 2,500 divided by 1.08. You will receive 2,314.81. That's the present value of $2,500 at the end of year one. And the future value, which is to convert $2,500 to end of year 5, so that's 4 years later. And the future value, the calculation of this is 2,500 times 1.08 to the power 4. Because you will invest this $2,500 four times, and compound it four times, and you will kind of receive this number. And you do the rest for 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 received at the end of year 2, 3, 4, and 5. You will be able to convert this kind of the series of cash flow into present value, which is the beginning of the year 1, or to the future value, which is end of year 5. So the total present value will be $33,914.13. Then total future value of this series of payment will be up to $49,830.98. And what's also interesting is that the total value of the total present value can be easily converted into the total future value. So you see here the equation here will stand. So which means that you really have to calculate both the present and future value. You can just stay with one column. Once you finish the calculation, no matter you got the total present value or total future value, you can easily get the total future or present value, depending on which column you're working on. The last slide of this topic is about the internal rate of return, or IRR, which is a very common concept used in finance and investment. So in the previous example, we just changed the question a little bit. Now we know we are receiving this series of cash payments at a year at the end of period 1, 2, 3, and 4, the 5. So $2,500, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, and $20,000. And we want to convert those future payments into the present value. And we want to work out what's the so-called IRR is. Right? So the IRR here is just the rate of return per annum, right, in this case. So this is the equation. And luckily, we don't have to solve the equation manually. What you can do is that you can just use the IRR function of Excel. Right? And this is a little bit of homework you need to research yourself. Search IRR function Excel, and it will be very easily to calculate for you. The internal rate of return for this cash flow is 11.6106%, which is pretty decent if there's an investment product promising and paying that much interest per year for the next 5 years. Thanks.